Shrivastava working as a senior Salesforce developer at LTI Mindtree, and today, as we are starting with OmniStudio, so I'll start with a brief history of the OmniStudio, how it was funded, and then we can proceed ahead with all. So, before Salesforce acquired uh, Velocity, so the previous company Velocity, which was providing industry-specific solutions, and they used to bundle that entire solution into a package and more of a customization tool as we are developing in Salesforce as well using screen flows and all. So that is how it got involved in to Salesforce as well. So industries covering till now by Salesforce OmniStudio is based out on communication, media, manufacturing, healthcare, government, and education, energy, and utilities, which they have specified solution as in the Salesforce have industry specific solution for all these clouds as well. Let me see if I can share my screen. So we'll just move on to this one. So what is OmniTutor? So it's a suite advanced tool that is utilized by Salesforce to simplify and accelerate digital experience creation and various expansion into the industry, which I've already mentioned, providing them pre-built solutions tailored to best practices of each industry. So it is like already created basics as the foundation, and then you can create on uh, go ahead and start creating on it. Also, why do we want to use Salesforce Omni Studio if we had already those solutions provided by ScreenFlows and all? So at a certain point, they got into a limitation where they could not pixelate or provide more deep dive or solution into that. So Salesforce come up with the Omni Studio solution where you can just build the solutions instead of doing hard code coding on LWC, Apex and all. Just drag and drop and create the solutions for the client which is being required. So what is the perk of using OmniStudio? If we go ahead and check about that. So it's a low code point and click tool where you can just drag and drop and create your solutions. So just go ahead, and if you want, so currently this OmniStudio is used as a managed package. So if you want to use it for a client, you need to install this package into the Salesforce org, and then you can start ahead and create using it. So as a developer, how you can use it? So you can just go ahead to this website and you can just sign up for the developer org if you want. Peter, can you provide this link to the all the attendees in the chat as well, so they can go ahead and register to this, and then you can go ahead and use the OmniStudio org as well. So basically, OmniStudio works in layers where, like in LWC as well, you just create from front end to back end as well. The same goes with OmniStudio as well, where the first layer, first the UI layer, which the user end sees, is the digital experience layer, where you can use flex cards and OmniScripts, which we'll be discussing further. and I'll show you in the dev org as well. So digital experiences are UI layer where you can just drag and drop and create solutions what you want the user to see, and what you want to have an input from the user if you want to display something. So that is all being provided by the digital experience layer, which is our first layer. And then we have service management layer, which includes integration features. And
Hello, Samrat, bro. Sorry for the interruption. Your slide is not changing. Can you please check?
no, I'm on just OmniStudio layers where I'm just giving a brief and then we can
Okay.
go ahead. So in the service management layer, integration procedures and data raptors, we use it to have a setup between a Salesforce and the UI where we want to save data, modify data, or whatever performance we want. And then we have developer experience where which is basically used to deploy our entire Omni Studio package to different orgs. So we'll start ahead with FlexCard. So if we talk about it, it's mostly about summarizing basic information at a glance, displaying detailed information on demand. It would be much better if I could log into my org and show you. Just give me. So this is kind of I've logged into my OmniStudio org, and from here you can just go ahead and write FlexCards, OmniStudio FlexCard, and access it. So also there are predefined solutions already provided by them. So we'll just go ahead and check this one. So this is how FlexCard works. So we have this basic tab created here by provided by Salesforce itself, where you can see there are two different FlexCards for our UI, which can be showed to users. Then in the build, so here we have build type, property, style, and setup. In build type, we can check on the fields which we want to be displayed here. Then we have our display fields, display option, where if you want to perform any actions on a click of button, or like this menu button is an action button. So this way you can go ahead and check out all these options. So we have different blocks as well. If you could see here, there are two different windows kind of option created. So these are two different blocks. So similarly, if you want to create multiple blocks, multiple windows in that, and on the UI to show, you can just create different blocks on it. Then we have chart. Then we have custom LWC option as well. If you want to enhance your UI on further basis, you can just go ahead and create here. Then we have data table as well. So instead of creating tables in LWC and also in OmniScript, you can just quickly just drag and drop here and just enter the fields and get all the table created. Also, then we have field option, output field, Also, you can have a child flex card as well if you want to navigate. So on click of this button, if you want another tab to another card to be open under it, displaying all these contacts, or suppose we just have account name displayed here, and then on click of this button, you want another card to display all these features. You can use the child flex card feature here as well. Icon, image, menu, all these options to display the data. And if you want user to have those fields input, you can just as similar as you had in Salesforce, creating fields while creation of the fields, like what type of field you want to create. Similar features we have in OmniStudio, having given these options. So this is how it goes. You can just go ahead, try to create something, just display account name, contact features, and these features. The next we have is OmniScript, which is again another UI layer of the Salesforce itself. So again, you just have to go here, type in OmniScripts. So you might be wondering, like, why do we have two options just to create the UI? So FlexCards is basically having just one single page, and by OmniScript, we can have a complete guided path from starting to beginner. Suppose when we had when let's just suppose of an example, we want to onboard a candidate, or if you are going to buy a book on any website, you just click on add to cart button. The book is added to the cart, you go to cart and pay for it, and then it shows that it might be delivered in x number of days to you. So by using FlexCard, you'll be creating different pages out of it, and then trying to integrate with each other. But in OmniScript, you can just do it on one place from starting to end. Next is it is also similar to how the FlexCard works with more features, and you can also deploy it to be viewed on any of the channels such as mobile devices, customer portal, and all. Let me see. It's taking too much time. Okay. Till that opens, let's just explore the property option. Vanguard. You can also style it here if you want to give certain height, dimensions. How do you want it to appear? Change that based on whatever you want. All the CSS features you can get in styling. And if you want to customize it based on your own CSS model, you can also create a CSS file and try to import it here. Let's just check out for the Omni scripts. Let's just till the time. Let's OmniScript is taking kind of a lot of time. Let's just move ahead with our different layers. And so yeah, so then we had the digital experience, the service management layer, where we had data raptors and integration procedures. So what's the use of data raptors? So we use it for retrieving, updating, and transforming data, whereas we have different types of data raptors where which we use to perform the same operation based on our requirements. So suppose we just want a single Salesforce object to have to get the data and perform operation on that, then we have data raptor turbo extract to be used. Then in this, the and data raptor turbo extract, there's this one disadvantages where you cannot use formula in custom fields mappings, which is not being supported. Also, we can only select data from one parent object in the data rapid turbo extract. Then we have, if we want to you get the data from one or more Salesforce objects, we have data raptor extract, in which you can perform various DML or SQL operations or declarative approaches. And it also supports formula and complex field mapping, whereas in data raptor extract version, you can select data from both parent and child objects, in case also from non-related objects as well. Suppose if two objects are not related to each other, you can also perform operations based on that. Then we had data raptor load, where one or more Salesforce object is being updated, created, or if it is being migrated using a CSV file. So basically, it is used for bulk uploads and all. Then we had data raptor transform, so it is basically used for the manipulation of inside and outside data. So suppose you want it to have convert the data into JavaScript format or not, so it just transforms the files. So let's just see. Yeah. So next we have in a service management layer we have integration procedures. It is also similar to what we have in data raptors, but it is more of a advanced version of that, where we can perform multiple operations uh, in a single service call, or have more complex solutions perform operations. So it works basically like an Apex class, and LWC and OmniStudio. Sorry. Also, we can in data raptors we had this that we can call it from very limited source on OmniScript and there. But and if we have integration procedures which can be called it on OmniScript flexcards using an API Apex methods as well. So a use case could be on a click of button if you want to have data from external sources, you can just click on get those data and plate it and get it saved into a Salesforce. The org is taking too much time to load. If I could show you there, but just then we had the developer experience layer where and this the command line automation tool packages and data packs are being created to be deployed it in the further org similar to the workbench as well. Let's just check if we can log into those as well. Trying. Okay, so this is how an Omni script works. So I had the simple edit contact where we are getting the contact details. So here we see we have integration procedure to get all the created to get all the data, and then this is kind of functionality where you can just go ahead to build drag and drop as an action. So the best part is if you don't know how to use a particular thing. So here you can see this particular data after extract function, post extract, transform and turbo, all in you can use it here just to get the properties. And suppose if you don't know how the particular functionality works, you can just click on the question mark button here and you can have all the description showed here, how it works with everything. Then we had this input fields where we want the user to enter all these fields and save it. Next, we have again an integration process where we are saving these details and then navigation item. This part is you can also access all these features from here as well. So if I click on, so this is how data raptors extracted function looks. So we had different, so you can just have output path, how do you want it, and it also shows the JSON output as well. So if we check, if you go and create a new data raptor, you can just clone it. So because we have just given an XYZ name. So here you can see you have four different types of data after which you can create, or you can just clone it from the previously one created and perform the options there. Perform the type of operation. If you want a thing to perform operation on just single object, you can just go ahead and choose the turbo extract. So input and output file, but is by default JSON itself. Then we have extract, load, and transform as well. So we might be having all of it created here itself. So it was the extract. We have the load created as well. Then we have turbo extract created as well. So this is the turbo extract where you can just have multiple objects. So if you want to have any related object as well, you can just scroll here and add it to the cycle itself to the right side. So this is how simple it is to use in the OmniStudio function as well. So similar to this, we have integration procedures. So this is how an integration procedures look. So if you want to edit this, you might be having an option below here to deactivate it. Before deactivating, you cannot make any changes on our integration procedures. Here we have different cache block, conditional loop, try and catch block, just as we had in our Apex as well. And we have various operation to be performed. So having expression set action, it is used to call calculation procedures. Then we have chatter action, which which pushes the post to our chatter groups. Then we have data raptors actions as well here as well, similar to what data raptors does. The extract action does how the data raptor extract works, the post works. Similar to load, transform works as the transform itself. Data raptor turbo works similar to how data raptor turbo extract works. Then we have delete action. So it is basically used to delete data from directly from the Salesforce database. Then we have DocuSign envelope options for e-signing of documents. We have email action to send out emails. So integration procedure action is basically to call another integration procedure from this particular same one. Then we have intelligence option, which is really used. And then there's this list action to modify a list. We have remote action to call out another to call out Apex class and integration procedures. Then we have response action to just return the data. So if a particular process is being completed, we have asked user to enter certain fields. Then based on those fields, we want to display some data on UI. We have this response action to perform those. Then we have HTTP action to make external callouts, and then we have set valuable values to declare customer uh, declare custom variables basically. So this is all how it works in OmniStudio. So based on certain requirements, you'll will be using all these things. The interesting part is in OmniScripts, we can also have a Flix card to be installed in it or inserted in it instead of manually creating drag and drop options. Mm, yeah, that is all we have in OmniStudio, where you can go ahead and explore all these functions by just dragging and dropping, creating different scenarios. Over to you, Peter.
Thank you for the informative session. There is some other questions. Can you take that questions?
Sure. So, are those questions in the chart itself? We can. So, yes, you can. I've already provided the link where you can just. I'll just copy paste the link here in the chat itself. You can just go there and register for the free trial organ to the Salesforce itself. Just fill in the details and then you'll be easily able to access all those data. Just so manage back. So I've given you the link where you can just go ahead and register for the developer org, and if you're working for the client, you can just access Salesforce for the managed package, and it is obviously paid for the client as well. So that particular managed package would be built differently. Then Kamakshi, creation of account. Also, like I'll suggest you few. There are few YouTube channels. There is not a lot of content available for New Studio, but there are a couple of channels which you can just go ahead and get a deep dive into each and every operations of sales Omni Studio. So one of that, I'll just paste the channel names here. So there's this particular uh, entire playlist of 26 videos on Salesforce Omnisphere by Sanjay Gupta Tech School, which you can refer. Then there's this also 0 to 1 code OmniStudio playlist, which you can refer again to get a better deep dive into all the components, how that particular component work while exploring on your own. But I would say just go ahead and register for the dev org version first, and then you just go ahead. So Peter, like people asking for the recordings as well, so you can just
Yes,
confirm it.
yes, I have shared the YouTube channel. I will upload the recording in the YouTube channel. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, that's all we have for today's session. Yeah,
Thank you
over.
for the informative session. Thank you everyone. Thanks for join. Thank you everyone, and thanks for joining. Bye.